Is there anybody out there? I honestly never really know. If you're there, I'd like to say thanks for tuning in and welcome to another Sunday night from my basement. Well, hey, what's happening, James? How are you, sir? I see little bubbles. Maybe those mean that people are hitting buttons. And if you're on the Mo page or the Jamcast page or the Garcia's page, thank you. I could see again. Wonderful. Yes, thank you for tuning in. And I do, like all the comments that I see are always going to be on Jim Loughlin Music Facebook page. So if you want to, if you want me to read a comment, it'll have to be posted over there. Hey, Mitch, how you doing, man? This is what's happening with me right now. Hope everybody's well. What's happening, Eric? Welcome aboard. That was a song called Afro Blue. A little bit of cover tune. Trying to start, well, basically see if I can do like all backing track tunes tonight. We'll see if it works out. And not that I don't like doing the solo acoustic stuff, but you know, it's fun. But I think at this point I have enough material to do like kind of all electric. Yeah, cat. How you doing, Andy? Every day when I wake up, it's better than the last. I never look forward and I don't like living in the past. And you can learn so much from me, I'll tell you what I do. Concern yourself with no one else, you know it's all about you. Don't care what it costs. Just wanna see the games, no concerns for the loss. I know it became crystal clear when I put these blinders on. So just don't interfere, stay on your side where you belong. I'll take all I can get, even what I didn't earn. Big brother, comfort me, pay attention to my concerns. If this don't go my way, there's no telling what I'll do. Too high a price to pay, so I'll just blame it on you. And every day when I wake up, I'm better than before. I took everything that I need, so I'll try for more. And you can do what I can do, just let me show you how. Consequence is just a word that has no meaning right now. Don't care what it costs. Just wanna see the games, no concerns for the loss. Don't offer me the facts, they go against my plan of keeping it all intact. I'm doing the best I can to give you all that you want. You know you can count on me to stand up for you all while I conspire secretly. And if this don't go my way, there's no telling what I'll do. Too high the price to pay, so I'll just blame it on you. I lose my mind. It comes to them so easily, but I'm not so inclined. And every day I wake up pointing at the sky. I lay in bed and wonder, but never question why. If you can do what I can do, I'm sure you'd understand. The sudden sense of urgency to get it all in hand. And I wanna live in bliss, but it's not worth the cost. How can I count the gains without knowing the loss? It never been crystal clear, I've never put those blinders on. No more living in fear. This is where I belong. Don't wanna take from your hand. I got all that I need. What I want, I will learn. Won't be driven by greed. And if this don't go my way, I'll do the best that I can do. And if it's worth it, I'll pay and do my best to see it through, see it through, see it through. I'm here. Huh. Hey, okay. That was weird. It was like I'd say something and then it would come out later. I assure you I'm not a cat. Just give me all of this. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm giving you as much as I can, I promise. So, I don't know how many of y'all caught the last stream with Mike Dillon and Brian Haas, but man, that was a really, really fun night. They came over, we ate some dinner, and then came down and just got everything set up as fast as possible. And Brian had his keyboard rig and stuff, and when I do my streams, it's all like in ear in my monitors. There's no actual live speakers, so the loudest thing is me singing, and the vibraphone, or the xylophone's probably a little louder, but even the guitar, like the amp in the back isn't, I use that for recording. I don't use that when I do the stream. It's all direct, so everything's in my head. But when we did the stream with Mike, it was a complete opposite. None of us had in-ears, and we were all just listening to each other, and it was the sound in the room. I've never tried to stream the sound in a room, which was very apparent the first probably 15 to 20 minutes of the stream. Brenda and Kieran, my wife and my son, kept running down because it sounded horrible in the beginning because I didn't have it set up. I can't say I didn't have it set up right. I didn't have it set up. So I was just winging it. And then I couldn't, for some reason, sign into Facebook on my laptop, so I couldn't see comments or anything like that. So they were running up and down the stairs, and Kieran's like, the drums machine, no. And the keyboard sounds too loud and all this stuff. And I'm like panicking, trying to figure out how to deal with this. Because it's not how it sounds in the room. It's in the room. It just sounds like in the room. It sounds fine. Everything sounded great. I could hear Mike, I could hear Brian, the Moog, the Rhodes, everything. We could all hear each other. So We had no idea what it sounded like out there. You know, Mike's phone's blowing up with comments, and Brian's phone's blowing up with comments. I'm like, oh my god! But we worked it out. So the last like hour and 15 minutes was really good. But that beginning was rough. Like reading the comments after the stream and for the first like 15 minutes was just hilarious. I felt so bad afterwards. I mean, I felt uncomfortable during and then bad afterwards.
mention yoke, burn bright, burn fast, and the shit just broken at work. If you're over engineer, let's just in my mind, couldn't adhere to that schedule, 16 hours a day. Got to the point that I no longer played my drums, my bass, not a goddamn thing. I was so tapped out that I couldn't even sing. Then out of the blue, I was playing again. Different role, back amongst friends, and then upstage, right mouth in my hand. How I got here, I don't understand. Sometimes it's hard, but I get to play music. This is where I'll stay till 30 years, cause it was in the cards. I was destined to live a life behind bars. So how's everything sound so far? I should have asked that question sooner, but... Tater. Again, welcome everybody. If you're just joining, thank you for stopping by, giving a little listen. So, I've been having this fairly internal debate. Huh. That's a lot of delay. How's that? No. Anyway. So basically, I do all my streams, just for tips, for the generosity of those watching. Anybody who wants to kick in a little money, that it'd be great for the performance and stuff. Info's up there. Scrolling. That's my new scrollers. Pretty slick, huh? I've entered the 20th century. And then there's this whole debate as to whether to, do like paid streams, like to a ticketed kind of paid thing. And I don't know that I really want to do that. Basically, I'd like my streams to be as accessible to everybody. I'm obviously not here to make a living doing this, and it's nice to get the tips and stuff, because that money then goes back into my studio, and it just helps build the streams to sound better, and the stuff that I'm recording to sound better and easier, and stuff like that. But this isn't like my job. And music's my job, but my basement's not my job. But I'd like, I want anybody who wants to watch them to be able to watch them. I want, if you only want to watch 15 minutes, that's fine. A half hour, one song, you want to tune in and be like, oh my God, this is horrible, and leave. Like, you get that option. So yeah. So I'm pretty sure that for any time that I do stream, there might be ticketed things that aren't necessarily like me streaming live. Like, it might be like an instructional thing, or some kind of masterclassy thing, or something like that, or just if I put a lot of production into a recording as opposed to just streaming live like this, then maybe I'd try to sell it. I don't know if that's the right word, but anyway, I had to get that off my chest for some reason. It's been bouncing around in my head for so long. not knowing where this leads. Let's just try to keep control and see for whom the bell will toll. I guess we'll be who we will be, and we'll see what we will see. Still it's gonna break, Don't wanna see the fate, There's so much more, I've heard it all before. It isn't what you do, that's only coming through. It's also who you are, that's how we got this far. Penetrate the smoke, make the final stroke, and it's hard. It's getting really hard. Alleviate the pain, the pressure on the brain. It's all about the greed. Forget about the need.
Yeah, I see Low doing his streams every week, and Brock streams on Busking Down the House just for tips constantly. Tim Palmieri, I'm pretty sure those guys keep their streams, free, tip only, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, man, I don't foresee myself changing, doing such things. And if you miss them, I think I have a YouTube page. If you just search Jim Loughlin on YouTube. I know I have a YouTube page. I don't think I have a YouTube page. I know I do. And it should be streaming on YouTube as well, and Twitch. But YouTube, archives all of them. I mean, Facebook does too, but you got to do all the scrolling craziness. Hey, Slam. Nice. Thanks for checking it out. There's another fantastic vibraphone player on Official Slam. Check him out on Instagram and Facebook. The guy can play, man, and he does a lot of really cool stuff. So yeah, if you get the time, check him out as well. There's a lot of. It's funny. There's a lot of vibraphone players that I have this. We only know each other through Instagram. You know, when I first got it and first started like Instagramming stuff for Mo and like the show pictures and all that stuff, and Slam was one of the cats that got in touch with me because if you see my live rig, if you just see a picture of it, you kind of like, really, dude, what the fuck? That's a lot of stuff. And if you don't know the background and the 30 years that it took to kind of develop, or 20 years it took to develop that rig, and all the music that's been written to make for other instruments and all that stuff, it's like, dude. And then Chase Jackson is another cat on Instagram who's a monster vibraphone player. He plays guitar, keyboards, drums, I think, as well. But his main instrument is vibraphone, and the dude can play, just flat out play, man. You check him out on Instagram if you like. Like, he's a vibraphone guy. He's more of a jazz fusion kind of cat, but dude is talented, man. Oh, Drew Tucker is another one. Drew's the guy who made the "It's Not a Xylophone" shirt. And that's actually his Instagram tag is "It's Not a Xylophone." And he's another monster player, man. Which one am I doing? Insane, we're all insane. Fireman's blind, conductor's lame. Cincinnati jacket and a sad luck day. Hanging out the window with a bottle full of rain. Clap hands, clap hands, clap hands, oh clap hands. Roar, thunder and roar. Some bitches never coming back in no more. Moon on the window and a bird on the pole. They all went to heaven in a little rowboat. Clap hands, oh clap hands, clap hands, clap hands. I said steam, 100 bad dreams. Going up to Harlem with a pistol in his jeans. $50 bill inside a paladin's cap. Nobody showing Mr. Knickerbocker's A. I said roar, roar, thunder and a roar. Some bitches never coming back in no more. Moon on the window and a bird on the pole. You can always find a million and a shovel or a coal. Clap hands, clap hands, oh clap hands, clap hands. $50 bill inside a paladin's cap. And nobody's sure where Mr. Knickerbocker's at. I said, shine, shine, Roosevelt dime. All the way to Baltimore, we're running out of time. Salve
Salvation Army seems to wind up in the hole. And they all went to heaven in a little rowboat. Clap hands. Clap hands. Oh, clap hands. Clap hands. Oh, clap hands. Clap hands. Clap hands. Clap hands.
Oh, you got it, Gabriel. Shout out. Anytime. So it's just a slight peek inside my brain. So I saw Gabriel slam pull up, and I started the whole thing about, vibraphone players, like all the really good players that I've met through Instagram and stuff, and then I pick up a guitar and do a song that I play guitar on, and so the whole time I'm playing that song, I'm thinking, fuck, like. I had this whole lead-in sort of thing for a vibraphone song, and now I'm sitting here playing a guitar song, and then the solo came, and I kind of messed that whole thing up, and my brain's just spinning in that direction, like, oh man, I missed this opportunity. Like, some of the things you think, or I think, on stage when I'm playing and stuff is kind of comical. This was so. I don't know, sometime in the 90s, when I was playing with Yoke, maybe 95, around that time, we were playing in a club in North Carolina. I want to say it was Charlotte, but I'm not exactly positive. And I had heard that Dennis Chambers, the drummer, was playing in the same town. It was like a college town, so he was playing in one of the bars in the same town. I forget who it was he was playing with, but it was one of the monster trios he played with in the 90s. Just a bunch of just crazy talented musicians. And Dennis Chambers at the time was, he's one of the greatest drummers ever. And I'm playing drums for Yoke at this point in time. So I could not play the whole night because all I kept thinking is Dennis Chambers is in this room somewhere. And so now I'm trying to do something to get Dennis Chambers, who's never showed up. I'm sure I was never there. He was playing a gig, so he couldn't have been there. But that's in my head. So I'm constantly trying to play shit that would get respect from someone like Dennis Chambers, which means that I'm trying to play stuff that I probably can't play at the time. I'm sure that as the night went on, trying to just play something cool, and after all the whiskey and cokes that I had wasn't the greatest idea. So it ended up being one of the worst gigs I had ever played. This whole time, because I'm imaginarily trying to impress someone who probably, or I'm going to say confidently, was not there in the room at all and had no idea that we were playing in the town or anything like that. I don't understand why I was thinking he would maybe finish his gig early and be like, yo, I want to check out that Yoke band that I've never, ever heard of. These are the things that go on inside my head from time to time.
And to a musician playing in front of musicians, or at least in my mind, that's the most intimidating thing. And especially if it's someone you're like, ooh, it just gets in your head, man. Like that person standing there and just thinking that I don't know what gets in my head. I don't know what it is, but it that's the thing. And if they're musicians you don't know, you can always from the stage. I can look at a crowd at mid show and pick out all the people who can play, or most of them, because most of the musicians that are in the crowd are the ones who are standing there like this, and they're looking at like Chuck's left hand. I'm like, that dude's a guitar player. Or they're just staring at Vin with their arms crossed all night. And every once in a while they go, like, if Vin does something good, like nice. Those are the musicians in the crowd. They're kind of easy to pick out. Yes, that's the thing. I think that's my problem playing live is I'm the one who gets in my own way. You hear content, I'm like, I couldn't really hear that good tonight, or I don't know, the vibe in the room wasn't. No, it's all me. If I have a bad gig, it's me. It's on me, and it's usually that's what it is. It's me getting in my own way, like trying to do more than I can, thinking I can't do what I actually can do, like just shit like that. It's a weird experience.
There's a Facebook jail. Take it easy, Gabriel. Thanks for stopping by and checking it out, man. Greatly appreciated. Have an awesome evening out in the Cali way. What's Facebook jail? So I hope everybody's doing well this evening. And again, if you're on one of the other pages, the Mo page or Jamcast, Garcia's at the Capitol Theater there, any of those pages, thanks for checking it out. If you have questions or comments or stuff or anything that you want me to read, I monitor all that stuff on Jim Loughlin Music. That's the Facebook page name, Jim Loughlin Music. So yeah. So I got in another fight with Facebook today because I can't stand it. They just made it so fucking complicated to use. Especially if you have multiple pages, which I ended up having to have because the first page I made the wrong way. Which is the same fucking thing I did with MySpace ages ago, which is why, like, my MySpace career was about 2 weeks long. So I was trying to... The last stream I did was cross-posted with Mike's page, Mike Dillon's page, because Mike was playing with me. So we cross-posted on both those pages and the other pages that I'm cross-posted on. So tonight's stream, I didn't want to just pop up on Mike's page. And Mike be like, what the fuck? Or Mike's fans be like, who the hell is this guy? Why is he on Mike's page? So I was trying to figure out how to do it, and I just couldn't find it. I absolutely could not find a cross-post editing thing anywhere. And I Googled it, and everything that they said in Google was about how the old Facebook pages work, not the new ones. It's just fucking complicated as hell. So thank God I know people that are more Facebook savvy than I and can fix things like this for me. So hopefully this isn't on Mike's page, and if it is, I apologize. And I apologize to anyone who's wondering why I'm not older and have more tattoos and better and playing tabla. Yeah, the reverb and stuff, like all the vocal effects stuff changes song by song. Because I try to get the vocals to be as similar to the way that I recorded them when I play them live. Maybe I shouldn't, I don't know. I'm sure it makes it somewhat surreal to hear me talk with, like, another voice that's an octave below mine and then a bunch of reverb and delay going on. And you're like, what the hell did he just say? And the louder I get, the louder that low comes out.
last chance to miss. Is there time enough to wonder? Is there time enough to worry? Is there time enough to question everything? Where's this all gonna lead? Does it stop when they're broken? Does it end when they bleed? Do the drums keep on beating? Do the horns ever cease? Is this too much momentum to ever know peace? We take 2 steps forward, but don't take one back. Charging ahead, we fly off the track. Where's this all gonna lead? Does it stop when they're broken? Does it end when they bleed? Is there time enough to wonder? Is there time enough to worry? Is there time enough to question everything?
I absolutely screwed the solo on that one. Oh yeah, I was, I was gonna say something, no idea what it was. So that last song was called Down to This, and that it's a song that's on the little EP that I released on Bandcamp. The link should be up here to my right, scrolling. Let's see, the SoundCloud link and my Facebook link, and hopefully the Bandcamp link is in there. And my apologies that they're not hyperlinks. You actually have to type something to get to the page. If I was smart, I'd have all these links and I'd copy and paste them into the chat, but yeah, that's a lot of work, man, come on. And this next song is called Edwin. And this is another song that's on the EP that I released on Bandcamp there. The $4 EP. That's what I should have titled it, the $4 EP. And this is a song about, well, it's a song about World of Warcraft. It's one of my geek rock songs. And the shirt Sea-Doo, this guy is, you'll hear him at the end of this song. He's the one freaking out all the way at the end, and it's pretty awesome.
His nose clean and he toes the line. Never known to do anything unusual. Works every day, always on time. Lives by himself in a house in the suburbs, outside the city of Buffalo. Takes his meals at the kitchen table. Every once in a while sees a picture show. Spends his nights in front of a monitor, basking in the glory of online fame. GM of the best, guild on the server, from Stormwind to Orgrimmar, they know him by name. Running news through dungeons, running flags in the gulch, attuned for every resource and trade in the game. Hero for the horde, in the arena, top DPS hunter in every raid. Dying, he awakened the Lightbringer. Crusader, Starcaller, the titles go on. Realm first in Blackwing, Balticor and Karazhan, Sunwell, Hyjal and Magtheridon. Epic boots aplenty and mounts by the dozens. He's seen so much content, his achievements abound. Exalted reputation with the factions that count. Tamed every exotic, his feats are renowned. Since S1 tiers 4, 5, and 6, a gladiator born on the arena floor. Upon you in Lordaeron, bleed you in the ring, LOS you in the sewers as the tears start to pour. Never sits ratings, he queues every night. 3,800 at the top of the page. Face him enough times, you'll slide down the ladder. GG's, then QQ, then quit out of rage.
I'm quitting this game. I'm quitting this fucking game. This is unfucking
a man of principle, keeps his nose clean and he toes the line.
Hey. Hey. Damn it. Check. Okay. So the auto captioning's on again. Also, did anybody's stream drop? Like on my computer, it said this stream has ended, and clearly I was playing and thought I was streaming. So no, in my opinion, it did not end. So I don't know if that happened, everybody. The the captioning thing is crazy because I don't see it, and I don't think if you're on a laptop it comes up. I think it's only on like a phone or an iPad, stuff like that. But yeah, I've had people. This is it happened 2 streams ago, I think, 2 or 3, and man, watching it on my phone, I was cracking up because some of the stuff was not even close, man. It was definitely not what I sang and absolutely not what I said. But it's pretty funny. Oh, so the stream did drop. Yeah, I'd like to refresh my page and all this. I panic when shit like that happens because I don't. Again, Facebook. I don't get along. We don't like each other. Although I feel somewhat forced to 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 utilize the platform, which kind of blows. I'm gonna go out and make all y'all get Twitch accounts. But then Twitch is weird. I think if you do cover songs and stuff like that, they get a little weird. Like the guitar player for I'm gonna say the wrong band. I think it's Imagine Dragons, but I'm not really positive. But he basically got banned from Twitch for playing Dragon Force. It's a band with dragon in the name. But he got banned from Twitch for like 60 days or 30 days for playing his own music, essentially. Because of algorithms, quality algorithms. It's like being a native Californian and dealing with rolling blackouts is more like it, isn't it? Yeah, maybe it's Imagine Dragons. I don't know.
The guitar player is really, really good. He did this awesome thing. I don't know if you all know who Jason Becker is, but he was a guitar prodigy. I mean, the guy. He's honestly one of the greatest guitar players to ever live, and his career was cut short from ALS. And he played in a band called Cacophony with Marty Friedman. He released his 2 solo records, I think, and then got hired by David Lee Roth to essentially replace Steve Vai. And he got ALS. And he's been composing music. He's older. He's not older than me. He's maybe a couple years younger than me. I think he's in his 40s. You know, he's survived a long time with ALS, probably over 20 years. And he figured out a way to communicate, and through music software and stuff like that, he's been able to compose and write music. He just can't play the guitar. And honestly, he was one of the most gifted guitar players ever. When he was young, you know, at the age that he was at, and his not just his ability to play, but his maturity and his approach to music, the way he wrote music, the way he approached guitar was so far beyond most things that were happening at the time, and still are. I mean, he's played stuff that, good luck playing. And the dude that I'm talking about, who got banned from Twitch just this week, did a tribute to Marty Friedman and had all these shredder guitar players play with him on his Twitch channel. And he's been doing a lot to, not Marty Friedman, Jason Becker, and he's doing a lot to help Jason. Jason just went into the hospital recently, and just yesterday, I think it was, he had to spend an extra day in the ICU. Hopefully he's home now, you know. But yeah, if you've never heard of Jason Becker or never heard him play, go check it out. I know, you know, I don't know how much you're into the super shreddy, arpeggio sweeping Yngwie type guitar players, but his musicality was amazing. Like I said, it wasn't just about how fast he could play, and you know, his technique and stuff. He truly was a brilliant composer of music and writer of music. So if you get a chance, check out his stuff. Don't go to church on Sunday. Don't get down on my knees to pray. Don't memorize the books or the Bible. I've got my own special way. Oh, I know Jesus loves me, maybe just a little bit more. I fall down on my knees every Sunday at the Elderly's candy store. Well, got to be a chocolate Jesus, makes me feel so good inside. Only a chocolate Jesus can keep me satisfied. Oh, don't want no apple zapple. I don't want no almond joy. I see there just ain't nothing better that's suitable for this here boy. It's the only thing that picks me up better than a cup of gold. And only a chocolate Jesus can satisfy my soul. Well, it's got to be a chocolate Jesus, good enough for me. Only a chocolate Jesus is good enough for me. Well,
gets rough. It's whiskey in the shade. Best to wrap your savior up in cellophane. It flows like the big muddy, but that's okay. Pour 'em over ice cream for a nice parfait, yeah. Chocolate Jesus makes me feel so good inside, and only a chocolate Jesus can keep me satisfied. Well, got to be a chocolate Jesus, good enough for me. Only a chocolate Jesus is good enough for me. I always end up looking at the time, watching the time, see how long it goes. And I'm like, oh my God, I got so much more time and I'm running out of material. And oh my God, and it keeps happening. And then I'm like, holy crap, look what time it is. Wait, I'm running out of time. I guess I can go as long as I want. It doesn't really matter that much, but yeah, I know attention spans these days, especially for a stream. Like, how long can you watch a dude on your computer play a bunch of music, honestly? So this is a new song. It might be about a month old at this point, but I've only played it once on the stream because I haven't streamed in a month by myself. So, hold on a second, wait. Yeah, as I move the mic back and forth, I think it starts to lower. And I'm like, my God, I'm growing so fast. But anyway, this is a song called Beyond the Pale. And the only reason I point out that it's a new song is that I'm still slightly struggling with the guitar part, so give me a little slack. Yeah, Bill Chanel are telling it how it is. That's what I'm talking about. You can't see the but you feel it coming, the calm before the storm. A thin disguise to hide the lies, just recognize it, cease succumbing, break free from the norm. You can ride the wave till it starts crashing and breaks upon the stone. The water churns, the tide it turns, so try to learn to keep from splashing. Time now to atone. Why do you keep pushing beyond the pale? Why do you keep choosing a path that only leads to ruin? You can't feel the pain that you're inflicting. The numbing is complete. A sluggish death, a stagnant breath, the waiting sense, so contradicting the limit to your conceit. You can wield the blade until it's blunted and rusted to the core. A string of words, a stack of thirds, a sudden hurt. You've been confronted, and so you start the war. Why do you keep pushing beyond the pale? Why do you keep choosing a path that only leads to ruin? stop beseeching your morals wearing thin. You can lift the stone that you're trapped under, but you're the only one. So try to live and just forgive, there's more to give, though torn asunder, your work has just begun. Time for you to stop pushing beyond the pale. Time for you to stop choosing a path that only leads to ruin.
That weird thing keeps happening. Having a lot of guitar cable problems. It just won't straighten out tonight, and I'm stomping all over it. So yeah, that was called Beyond the Pale. That'll end up on the EP as something, so eventually the way the EP on Bandcamp is going to evolve is I'll just keep, as I can afford to have songs mixed and mastered and stuff, they'll be added to it, for the same price, just $1 a song or whatever you want to pay for it, until it's no longer an EP and then it'll be an LP. Ooh. So that's the way that's going to go. And then, so I'm figuring out all these things with Bandcamp, and there will be stuff that's going to be added. My goal is to, I'll be adding little things that'll be like bonuses that people who bought the album will be able to download for free. Like some of the songs that I wouldn't necessarily include on part of the album per se, but I still want to get out there or whatever, so they'll be, added. And you should, if you bought the way it should work is if you bought the album, you should get a download code in the email, and it'll be to whatever bonus track or tracks that'll be available. And hopefully, I really, really want to put a couple videos up there, just as content, and have them on YouTube as well. But through Bandcamp, I think you might be able to download them. I'm not exactly sure. I got to look into that. But there won't be merch. I'm not going to do merch because, I don't know, that's expensive. And plus, honestly, who's going to buy merch? Who wants a poster on their wall of my basement? Have returned with heralds nowhere to be seen. The blackthorn sees the visions clear. Dawn chant tumbles from his lips. Did the one called honor truly die, or is it into madness that he slips? 5 years ago, the truthless one killed the Alethi king on the night of peace. War began with spoken oath. Till vengeance comes, we will not cease. Stormless sits inside a cage, slave down the way he used to fight, riding to the shattered plains while windspread dance all through the night. Bridgemen running to their death, small sacrifice to win the war. Stormless vows to find a way to save the men who run Bridge 4. Our songs will tell you who we are. Our history that runs so deep. Our song for peace, our song for war. Our song to laugh, our song to weep. Until the gods long ago. For power that must not return. Galah had to die. His plan was for a shot of burn. Seeks worship with the heretic. The plan to save our house and home becomes the jam that makes us sick. Drowning in a sea of spheres, saved by hands that know betrayal. Pattern spins upon the floor.
Brightness will soon dawn the veil. Truthless roams across the land, sowing fear and spreading death. Oath bound he soon will serve, the one who harvests dying breath. Judge what a high storm Kaladin lays, stormlight drain from every sphere. Down in the caverns, bridge for trains, seeking freedom through the spear. The visions still come with the storms, the countdown's written on the wall. Sadeas plots the Blackthorn's death, the tower's where he'll see him fall. Our songs will tell you who we are, our history that runs so deep. Our front for peace, our front for war, our songs that have, our songs that weep. We hear the rhythms of Roshan as we fight out on the plains, burning shards sweeping out our veins. Our songs will be all that remains. Tonight, although his torments linger still, on his shoulders silver lights, the bond was formed through spoken will. Bridge for free by the Blackthorn shard, Oathbringer now once a day is hands. Question why, Dalinar says, a priceless sword for priceless men. Truthless hears the screams of men, his actions haunt him day and night. To the old stone, his will is bound, denied a choice, he still must fight. From a shipwreck to the shattered plains, brightness learns to weave the light. In the war camp she must find a way to become the little light. Veil hunts with broken men, the ghost bloods put her on the trail. Shrouded past slowly revealed, her father's face growing pale. We wear the ancient forms again, for one of us desires more. Secrets spoken by our spring, the stormy people of the war. Our form of power we must find, to call upon the ever storm. Planet home, planet mine, soon the fuse will be reborn. Assassins fill the war camp now, the diagram says it's time to strike. The sons of honor plotting still, slowly pushing down the spike. The Blackthorn seeks to win the war. In 3 days' time the countdown ends. Moash stalking Elokar, a broken oath seeks to mend. Truthless flies through the vetted plains, the killer of kings seeks one more death. No longer truthless Seth now sees, his madness grows with every breath. Hybrids march those shattered plains, the vengeance pact will be fulfilled. The weeping stars, the constant rain will wash away the blood that's spilled. The Blackthorn fights a losing war, the Everstorm and the High Storm clash. Urathiru standing tall, Knights radiant have returned at last. We wear the ancient forms again, so one of us desires more. Secrets spoken by us spring, the stormy recall of the war. Listen as we knit ourselves, but listen as we on the more. Bodies bearing ancient souls, so radiant we will endure. Okay. So basically, extended is extended from a single. So a single, and then extended, and then long. So the extended in extended play isn't extended from regular, it's extended from a single. So there you go, Andrew. And big shout out and thanks to Andrea for posting all the links, because she knows what she's doing and I don't. So thank you so much for all that. I always appreciate it. And yeah, and I don't know what fucking side it's on. I think the payment tip stuff is up on the left-hand side scrolling, and all the pertinent links, my SoundCloud page, Instagram, Facebook, and Bandcamp are up on the right. So check out all that stuff if you have the time. Tip if you appreciate what I'm doing. It'll be greatly appreciated. I'm not telling you have to. I'm just thanking you if you do, basically. And that last song was called The Rhythms. That's part one of what's going to be, I think, a 3-part, like a trilogy of songs. The second song, Rhythms Part 2, has already been recorded. That's up on my SoundCloud page, but it hasn't been mixed or mastered, so it's not on Bandcamp yet, but it will be. And they are based on, those songs and the series of songs are based on a series of books by an author called Brandon Sanderson. If you're a reader, if you read, especially if you read like science fiction, fantasy, that kind of stuff, check out Brandon Sanderson. Check out the Stormlight Archive, or the Mistborn series, whatever. The guy's an amazing author, and the books are just so good. I had to write 3 songs about them. The third song, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with, how I'm going to do it yet. Might be an instrumental, might not, I don't know. But it will be recorded. I got another song that I'm working on right now that I don't have a title for. I'm just always working on stuff and recording stuff. And it's funny because in the beginning, the songs just kind of poured out. And they were easier to write and easier to record in the beginning because I was less concerned about how they sounded and how they went, as it were. And now that I've learned how to actually record stuff and sort of get good sounds to tape, as it were, tape, and then to actually kind of learn, or trying to learn what I'm doing as far as mixing is going, and hopefully, I'll understand at least a little bit of mastering, and through doing this, through the whole process and stuff. But now I notice that I get so nitpicky over stuff that some of the songs take longer to record than the ones that did in the beginning. And I have a bunch of stuff that's sort of backed up, or at least ideas in my head, because I try to finish what I'm working on before I move to anything else, because I used to have this whole back catalog of half-finished songs and projects, and they just never got finished. They all remain in this half-finished limbo, and eventually I just throw them out because I'm just tired of listening to a quarter of a song and trying to whatever, and then moving on to all this stuff. So I try to focus on and finish what I'm doing at one time, and then I can move on. So that's sort of how everything's been going here. All right, this will be the last one for the evening, I guess. This is called Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow, and this is another of the songs that are on the EP. This is actually the most played song on Bandcamp, which is weird because it's not the most played song on the SoundCloud page. But the SoundCloud page can get weird and tough to navigate. If before I forget,
I put together a playlist on my SoundCloud page, so I think you should be able to find it fairly easily. But the playlist on my SoundCloud page is sort of a kind of representation of what when the album is complete and is no longer an EP and turns into an LP. That's what it'll be. And if it were on vinyl, it would probably end up being a double album, but it's not going to be on vinyl because vinyl's fucking expensive to make and release, and you have to master everything completely. Whatever, it's a big production that I can't afford to go into. But anyway, so if you go to the SoundCloud page, you can see sort of the future of what will eventually be uploaded to Bandcamp, and they'll be mixed by Ben Collette at Tank Recording Studios in Vermont and mastered up there as well. And so the mixes will be slightly different and better than what I have already done. So check it out on the SoundCloud page. You can get an idea of what sort of I'm looking for and what the kind of future, I guess, holds. I don't know. But go check it out.
When you're in the minority, your words don't seem to count. Just sit back and defer to authority. The ledger grows with each account. I must admit, half of me wants this, but the other half don't. Dichotomy is my existence. Sink the ship so we all can float. Now nothing really makes sense, but we still reap what we sow. Irresponsibility, greed, and misery. How do you make that garden grow? I know it sucks being burned out. I know it sucks feeling helpless. And it sucks to say I told you so. And it sucks, but they're gonna shelf this. Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching. If you stuck with me, greatly appreciate it. Honestly, I really do. I love doing this. You know, I enjoy playing music, obviously, and it's nice to have an audience to play to and someone who appreciates it. It just kind of feels good, you know, when you do something for 30 years and then it sort of gets taken away from you. It's weird. It's really odd. I mean, generally for the most part, I just enjoy playing music. It isn't always about you know, live music like a crowd or an audience. Always, it's a very internal thing for me usually. And playing with just the people that I'm playing with at the time, you know, that's what it's really all about for me, and I can't do that right now. Having an audience and playing live and seeing people appreciate it and sort of vibing with a crowd that's out there and you know, seeing them enjoy it just sort of takes all of that to another level. And it can at times be an incredibly wonderful thing. Mo has had some shows, you know, that have just sort of, I don't know, been transcendent, for lack of a better word, or maybe that is the word to describe it. You know, you can feel when the band is on and the crowd knows. You know, the audience knows that the band is on, that we're playing really well. And the audience can sense it, and there's just this thing that happens. It's really impossible to describe. If you've experienced it from a crowd level, you know what I'm talking about from the crowd level. And if you've played music live, even regardless, if there's 3 people in there and they're feeling the right way, everything sort of clicks, and it's just a great experience. And it's been really weird to not have that for this long of a time. It's the longest in at least 20 years for me that I haven't had that experience, and it's odd. And so just to have however many people check out these streams, and whether you just stop by and watch a couple songs, or whether you watch the whole thing, or it is irrelevant. Just that it happens, and I know that people are watching this, and hopefully a lot of people are appreciating it, and it's awesome. And I'm just thankful for just that interaction that I can have now, which is it's really cool. So for as much as I fucking hate Facebook, at least there's this. And so thank you. Thank you for tuning in and checking them out, and just watching and hopefully enjoying yourselves and enjoying the streams. And have a good night. Hope you all are well.